let's see what I can do here. Put some content out, you know. Yeah. Oh, by the way, hello viewers. Another beautiful day. Hope your five senses work. Health and strength is good or excellent. What? Alright, now, for you Lenovo Legion Go fans, Legion Go S fans, with the Steam OS, says your Legion Go S with Steam OS pre-order goes live with serious specs. Two new Lenovo handheld gaming PC running Valve Steam OS are available for pre-orders with fast AMD Ryzen gaming CPUs up to 32 gigs of RAM. The Steam Deck can already do 32 gigs of RAM, folks. But anyway, it's been proven. Anyway, we might be only weeks away from the first third-party handheld gaming PC running Steam OS hitting the shelves. The two versions of our Legion Go S running Steam OS have appeared on Best Buys for pre-order, suggesting a late May release, though hasn't yet been confirmed by Lenovo itself. During our own Legion Go S hands-on at the CES trade show in January, we were impressed by how well third-party handheld captured the spirit of the original Steam Deck, with specs set to outdo Valve's OG to become the best handheld gaming PC you can buy. Gamers could well choose to make this Lenovo handheld their #1 option once it launched. It says two versions of Lenovo, two versions of Legion Go S. I'm so used to saying Lenovo. Have appeared on Best Buys for pre-orders. The cheaper version with the AMD Ryzen Z2 Go APU, 16 gigs of RAM, and a 512GB SSD is available to purchase for $549. That matches the same price as the 512GB Steam Deck OLED. Gaining you a more powerful APU than the original deck, although with an inferior LCD screen with a 120Hz refresh rate. Then it says, meanwhile, a beefy version of the Legion Go S is available for $749, upgrading to the same AMD Ryzen Z1 Extreme APU used in the Asus ROG Ally X. It also comes with 32 gigs of RAM versus the ROG Ally X 24 gigs of RAM, and the Steam Deck OLED 16 gigs of RAM, and a 1TB SSD. Just goes less than the Asus model. Says here, the real win for these handhelds, however, isn't the component, it's the software. But in order to run software, you need powerful handhelds to run to get the full benefits of it. Just saying. But anyway, says here, their use of Steam OS means that the entire Valve ecosystem is readily available to gamers from the moment of purchase, making them a much easier prospect to use than Windows-only options such as the Asus ROG Ally X. The uplift is specs over the Steam Deck, meanwhile, should hopefully lead to better performance in most demanding recent releases. It says here, while Lenovo has already released a Windows version of the Legion Go S, it hasn't officially announced a release date for these Steam OS models, meaning that May 25th, 2025 date shown on Best Buy could be subject to change. Either way, we're looking to test their performance ourselves once they launch to see how they compare to the Steam Deck for gamers. And then it says here, until then, check out the Steam Deck OLED review to see why Valve's handheld continues to be the best choice for gamers, thanks to, in part, to these use of the Steam OS platform. Well, Lenovo, Legion Go S, well, they're getting into the ring, that's for sure. And they come with the Z2, 16 gigs and 512GB SSD, $549. Okay. And then it matches the price, it matches the Steam Deck OLED. But then to take on Asus now, they came out with a 32 gig version and a 1 terabyte model. and they want $749 for it. Yeah. So Lenovo, they got a new handheld on them. They got their new handhelds on the market, but the Legion Go S is using Steam. So the Z2 chip is new, the Z1 isn't. You know, but by the looks of it, they covered both ends, Z2 and Z1. So they got one for it's like they got one for the Steam Deck and then one for the ROG Ally X. So yeah, Lenovo stepped their game up. You know, the original model though is still 8.8 inch though. Let's not forget that. But these are the newer models. So yeah, and they're at Best Buy, so they should be coming out on May 25th. But that's likely to change. So you Legion Go fans, if you've been liking the Lenovo Legion, I'm sure you're looking forward to this one. So yeah, Lenovo has a new handheld on the market, but Valve really started like a war between handhelds, you know. When they said we couldn't find a game the Steam Deck couldn't run, the competitors was like, okay, we have something to say about that, you know. We do. And they came out swinging. Oh yeah, from the MSI Claw 7 now to the 8 AI and 7 AI. Lenovo, Asus, the OXO, Logitech, Orange Pi, see what's this? The Neo, the 1X GPD. Yeah, they came out swinging, man. So yeah, these handhelds, they pack some power in it. So you know, it all comes down to the consumer and which one they like. You know, and each one of these handhelds, they got a user base for them. You know, yeah, I'm sure the Logitech fans is wondering when Logitech gonna upgrade to a newer version. Just saying. Yeah, you know, each one of these handhelds got a user base, man. So these are some nice handhelds on the market, man. Nice. You know? But Valve, on the other hand, is expanding their horizon. They're supposed to be working on Steam OS 3. So yeah, and probably bringing it to laptop and desktop, stuff like that. So, and of course they got the Steam Deck to run it up and run. I mean, coming with their generational leap statement. And yeah, maybe Valve should. I'm gonna make a video for that. But anyway, Lenovo, yeah, 32 gigs of RAM. Now with the Steam Deck, now, I mean, they got 32 gigs of RAM, but the Steam Deck can also do 32 and 61 terabytes of storage. So yeah, but Lenovo is like came out with 32 gigs out the gate, so they got one to tackle the Asus ROG Ally. Then the other one they got to tackle, you know, MSI Claw and Steam Deck OLED. So yeah, they got both ends covered. Yeah. So you gotta save your pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, $1 bill, $5 bills for these handhelds, you know. So yeah, May 25th it is. So yeah, Best Buys is taking orders. So yeah, you Lenovo Legion fans, step up to the plate. But the button layouts though is like, you know, what separate the Steam Deck from everybody is the way Valve lay out those buttons on the, you know, with the touchpads, and then you got your buttons and then D-pad and then yeah, 2 analog sticks. Yeah, I mean D-pad and then buttons and then 2 analog sticks. So, but this comes with 2 analog sticks, D-pad and buttons, but it's like one here, then D-pad and then buttons here. Yeah. Lenovo, but it didn't say what size screen size is this though. The only thing I don't see on this article is the screen size. Don't see it. Nope. But yeah, but anyway, other than that, that's all the news I got to report. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Nice talking to you people again. Crystal, Star Wars, Star Trek thing, or Dark Side. Go. Peace.